Oh my gosh, Natalia, I just got a notification that my credit score is still below 600. How am I supposed to get inside my first house?
Let's talk about this for a second. Step into my office.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. This week, I am joined by the lovely Natalia from Spire Financial, and we are going to talk about mortgages and credit. Natalia, can you please tell our lovely audience about how they can know what loan they fit into?
Yes, and I'm so happy to be here to talk about this because credit is a huge misconception and deterrent for people even applying for a loan. So a big thing to know when starting the process is that you can get a loan with almost any type of credit. Credit will also determine the type of the loan, but also the interest rate that you're going to pay. So a great place to start is contacting a lender and having them pull your credit. Credit is going to look a little bit different when a lender pulls it because it's going to look at your mortgage credit score. It pulls from 3 different companies, and it is a bit harsher than what you're going to see on Credit Karma. But don't let that deter you because a lender's job is to look at that credit and say, what can we do to improve this credit score? There's many different things that can go on your credit report. You could have your brother's parking ticket on your credit report, and that could be messing things up. So you're not necessarily going to see that if you're just pulling your credit on your own. So when you get it professionally pulled and you have someone look at it, we can always run an analysis to up your credit so that you are in a loan that you feel comfortable with.
So I actually always hear this from almost every client I work with, is that they don't want to talk to a lender because they're afraid that it's going to ruin their credit or hurt their credit if the lender pulls the credit score. Is that true? Is that false?
That's not necessarily true. There is a mortgage credit pull where if you are out shopping for a mortgage and for a loan, you can get your credit pulled multiple times and it won't hurt your credit. Anytime you do pull your credit, there will be a little bump, but there is going to be a time frame that it won't hurt you.
So I'm actually working with a buyer right now, and he's very concerned about his credit, and he's wanting to know how he can fix it. Or is there anything that you as a lender can do to bump up their credit score?
Yeah, so when I as a lender will look at your credit report, we'll see what's going on. A lot of the times people don't know that you are only supposed to spend 30% of the available balance on your credit card. So if the available balance is on your credit card is $3,000, you should really be only spending $1,000 on that credit card. So an easy way to bump up that score a bit is to pay all those cards down to that 30% goal. But there are other things that you can do as well. We look at payment history, we look at credit mix. There's a couple different things, as well as how long you've actually had the credit cards. One big thing, if you take away anything from this, is do not close credit accounts. If you have a credit account that you don't want anymore, maybe you just don't use it, or maybe you got another card that has better benefits so you don't use this card anymore, cut it up. Don't close that account because that will hurt your credit score.
Will I, as a client, come and pay you for you to help adjust my credit or help me with, improving my credit score?
So that's just going to be included. I will always fix someone's credit just off of free advice in trying to get them into a loan that's going to work for them. If the credit situation is going to be a bit worse, we will include someone with credit repair and we'll always connect you with them. Or if it's some sort of collection, we'll always look at that. I would recommend, though, that you do talk to a professional like a lender or someone in credit repair, especially if it is collections, because collections can be tricky and there are ways to go around that. But I would always get advice from a professional, and a lender is a really great place to start.
And lastly, so what about those folks that don't have any credit cards at all but are interested in buying a home potentially in the future? How can they get started with building their credit?
So if you are considering buying a home and you don't have any credit history, I would recommend that you go out there and get a credit card, but be responsible with it. Credit cards are great. I love credit cards. A lot have great rewards. You can travel, you get cash back, but just be cognizant of the power that a credit card holds. You don't want to get in a situation where all of a sudden you have this debt because you have a new powerful tool in your hands where you can spend and you don't necessarily have to pay on it. So be super diligent when you do start to get credit cards. Track your finances, start a budget, and that's something great too that a lender can offer you. If you're interested in buying a home, but you don't even know what this looks like, maybe you don't have any credit, or maybe you don't have any money saved yet, still talk to a lender because we have great tools like budgets and advice that we can help completely free, but just to help you down the line in the process of buying a home.
So the key takeaways I'd say from this whole conversation is do not spend more than 30% of the balance available on your credit cards. Do cut up your credit cards if you're not using them, but do not close those accounts. Do not forget to talk to a lender and don't just rely on your own credit pool because a mortgage credit pool is going to be totally different. And lastly, if you do not have any credit cards and you do want to start, looking into getting inside your first home, you are going to have to start opening up some credit cards.
Yes, but with those credit cards, remember, be diligent, be careful, and start a budget. Live from that budget and you will have no problems.
And that is that, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this episode was useful. If you have any questions for me, please do not hesitate to reach out on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Brokergayane. I will also be leaving Natalia's information down in the description below, along with her email if you do want to contact her. Well, thank you so much, Natalia, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.